Cari, and we're here at the SLV Apothecary. I'm a farmer with Infinity Farm, and we're going to do a little demo on how to make loose leaf tea, how much to use, and what are the proper servings for some of the herbs. So most of the herbs we have either, this is a 1 ounce jar, and then we also have a 1 ounce bag. So that's about the serving size. And then this is a 1/2 ounce, and this is a 1/2 ounce bag. So just to see the different sizes. So if you are buying loose leaf tea, you're probably wondering, how do I make this? So that's what this demo is for today. So if you get a loose leaf tea, if you're just making 1 serving, so in 1 ounce, so this size, you have about 10 to 20 servings in an ounce. So this 1/2 ounce would have between 5 to 10 servings, depending on how strong you like your tea, of course. So we're going to do what 1 serving size. So this is a tablespoon. So if you need 1 serving size, all you need is 1 teaspoon. So this is a teaspoon. You can also use, so this is also about a teaspoon, about your standard teaspoon size. So we have our teaspoon, and that's about 1 cup's worth, okay? And if we want it extra strong, we might do 1 more scoop, okay? If we're doing a pot of tea, like this is a really nice way to make loose leaf tea. This is a French press. So we have our tea, our herbs in here. Today we're brewing some red clover. We got some lavender in there as well. And that's for us to drink. And so if you're making this size, 2 teaspoons at most is good. And then the next thing I do, let's say you're using one of these strainers, then the same thing. You would fill it up about 1/4 to halfway, because those herbs are going to expand. So we're going to try that out, see how the herbs expand. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put a little bit of room temperature water. So the reason why you want to put your room temperature water over the herbs is just to protect them from the hot boiling water. So you could also let that boiling water cool down to about 150 degrees and pour it on the herbs. Or you could do this technique where you put the room temperature water and then your hot water. So I put about 1/4. If you're going to use real boiling water, or I would use a little bit less if I was using water that wasn't boiling. So then we'll put our boiling water on here. Okay, and we're going to let it sit. We're going to let the herbs sit for between 10 minutes and to about 1/2 hour. Some herbs like nettles and let's see, red clover and some other herbs might need up to 8 hours to fully decoct all of the medicines. So the nice thing with tea is you're extracting the vitamins and the minerals. So with alcohol tinctures, you're getting different constituents than you are with the tea that's going to come out. But if you want those vitamins and minerals, that's why I was saying to keep that water below 160 60 degrees because we have vitamin C and a lot of vitamins that denaturize at about 160 degrees. So we're going to keep it at a nice warm temperature. So a good temperature would be something that's not going to burn your mouth, that's not going to burn your honey. So between 100 and you don't want to put the honey in until it cools down to about 105. So this one's pretty much ready to put honey because I put a lot of that cold water. You could put less cold water if you're not using honey, but you do want to keep it below 110 if you're going to put your honey in it. And I will put my honey in it. So we have this at about, like I was saying, this is about 110, maybe 100 degrees. And then that's when we put our honey in. So I'm going to put my scoop full of honey. We have the herbs in here expanding. And then if you leave your loose leaf herbs in there, you can then strain it with a strainer like this. If they're loose, you can use a French press like we were showing you. I also like these little basket strainers. Those are nice. You can also use, this is a reusable cotton tea bag. I have these at the shop, and those are nice to use. You just clean it out, turn it inside out and clean it out. And then we also have disposable tea bags if you're in a rush. A lot of people do like to use the spoons. And yeah, today we're going to be making the cough cure, and this one has plantain and sage and some wonderful herbs, lovage, marshmallow, to help with the throat and a cough. This one can also be used in a broth. If you're making a soup broth, you could also use the herbs in there in a similar way, like a tea ball. So we will strain. I'll show you how to strain these herbs. So we got our tea. We will imagine that 15 minutes has passed, and we'll strain our tea. So there we go. And this is a leaf tea, so it's light. I only brewed it for just a minute here because for the video's sake, but usually it could be a little bit darker because we'd have 15 minutes to half an hour of it letting it brew. You can also do cold infusions with all of these herbal tea blends, and that you do the same way, and you just put it in the fridge, and you can let that sit for up to 24 hours in the fridge, and then strain that and keep that in the fridge and drink it cold. So that's another option. If you're using root tea, roots like dandelion root or burdock root or marshmallow root, that and cinnamon, that's when you're going to want to actually put the tea on the stove and simmer it on low for about a half an hour to kind of really pull out all of that medicine. But with leaves and flowers, they're more gentle, and that's when you're going to want the 150 degree water so that you can get all those vitamins and minerals out of those herbs. So yeah. Was there any questions that you had?
Local Marketing Guide, product and food reviews, the good, the not so good, and the downright horrible.